To cycling now. They started out as Team Rwanda and now they are called Team Africa Rising. Cyclists from Rwanda are trying to prove that not only do they belong on the racing circuit, but that African cyclists are starting to make their mark in this demanding sport. For the second straight year, 6 Rwandans competed in a race in the American state of Colorado. CGTN's Hendrik Sybrandy was there.
I am very excited. It's been a crazy 48 hours.
At Denver International Airport, some yellow-clad athletes get a hero's welcome.
How are you?
Flight delays have put Team Africa Rising cyclists at the scene of the Colorado Classic bike race fewer than 24 hours before it begins. Not ideal, says team manager Kimberly Coates.
That's not supposed to happen. It's not how it's supposed to go. We would have liked to do a little course recon, made sure that they were well rested, well hydrated. They're going to be tired.
Before long, 6 Rwandan cyclists are trying out bikes they've never ridden. All were donated, as was the sprinter van, the mechanic, and other race necessities.
Everybody has pitched in at the last minute, and I think the crazier our story gets with being so late, the more everybody just wants to pitch in and help.
Everybody loves an underdog in sports, and this team, with a budget less than half that of other teams, became a crowd favorite last year, which is why the athletes were invited back.
It's really not about the bike, it's about changing lives, it's about changing communities.
Team director Jacques Boyer says his riders are emblematic of the way Rwanda, which suffered through genocide in the 1990s, has rebuilt and transformed itself. The story of how cycling helped the team become a beacon of hope in its country was told in the documentary Rising from Ashes, which made a global impression.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And kind of knowing their story, knowing kind of where they came from, kind of the history and their passion for cycling.
That passion for cycling is not unique to Rwanda, Boyer and Coates say. The couple wants to grow the sport across Africa in countries like Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Nigeria.
We've got requests from quite a few other countries that really have seen the example in Rwanda and want to duplicate that in wherever they are.
He'd like to see more races like the Tour of Rwanda, more teams, more riders with experience, and importantly, more sponsorship money.
It's hard to get sponsors in Africa because they don't understand cycling yet. It's growing, definitely.
Sooner than later, we're going to have a bank of riders that really could do well in major European races.
24-year-old Valens Ndayasenga hopes to compete in the Tour de France one day.
It's my dream. I will try anything I can. This race can give me a more experience.
On the third day. But this year, this race was not kind to the Rwandan team. 5 out of its 6 riders dropped out after the first stage. But the goal of elevating African cycling with 10 new continental teams in the next 5 years remains there.
You know, I'm just massively passionate about this. It's doable. Anything is doable.
Hendrik, Sybrandy, CGTN, Denver.